my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Happy Wednesday. It is the day before Thanksgiving, and I hope you are feeling thankful. Man, we're going to get into a little Thanksgiving discussion today. I've got a few things I want to talk to you guys about. Let me just say that Kamala Harris is not well, and we're going to roast her. We're going to talk about this woman. She is scary, and we're going to find out what her campaign knew leading into the election, because what they were telling you is an absolute lie, which we've come to expect that sort of thing. And then Joe Biden makes a huge announcement about something that he literally had nothing to do with. And I'm not even sure he knew he made the announcement, but he did. And we're going to break that down for you. So we got a lot to get into today, and we're going to have a little fun along the way, guaranteed. Here's something I want to tell you guys about, though, before we go any further. You guys have seen my Trump fight bobblehead, my bobblehead. Everybody wants one. It's the most fabulous bobblehead in the world. I've got some more, and I'm going to give this one away. We're going to randomly pick someone who leaves a review where podcasts are offered on the Chad Prather Show. So if you go over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts are offered, that's the audio stuff. You go over there and you leave a review, 5-star rating and a review. I'm going to I'll let Cindy or somebody pick it out. She'll pick the name out of the hat randomly from a reviewer. But the review's got to be left somewhere between now, at the end of the show, and the end of Friday, which is Black Friday, which is racist. But we'll pick it out. We'll send you a bobblehead. We'll do a little giveaway. That guy right there. You know what? I'll sign the bottom of it because my signature makes it all worthwhile. But we'll sign the bottom of the bobblehead, and you'll get one. Little Trump fight bobblehead. So that's what you got to do. We'll give it to you for free. We'll send it to you. We'll pick it out. We'll reach out to you. We'll get your address, and we'll send it to you. That's what we'll do. Okay. Let's bring on America's favorite producer, Royce. I want to talk to him about a couple of things before, I guess, because I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes. Royce, have you tried, I think I mentioned to you this stuff that I started taking. I like say taking it. I drink it. It's called Magic Mind. Have you ever tried this stuff?
I've not tried it. Do I need to? What
you need to. You still have a young mind, but it would still, like, everybody's in all these energy drinks and even drinking the coffee in the morning and stuff like that. I can't drink too much of that stuff because it makes me jittery. And I found a couple of weeks ago where I'm pushing more buttons now in my life and career, in my jobs, than I've ever pushed before. Because we're 100% independent. Thank God for Royce. God literally sent me Royce. He connected us. And the story of how we got connected is one of those God things. But I'm pushing more buttons than ever before, and I'm trying to keep up with all of these different things. And so someone told me, they said, you need to try Magic Mind because it will give you calm energy. And I said, I like that. I don't like a whole bunch of the caffeine stuff. I want some natural stuff. So I started trying this stuff. By day 3 of taking these little shots of the Magic Mind, and it's all the stuff I was already taking supplementally, like the L-theanine and the B vitamins and stuff like that. But then it's got the ashwagandha in there. It's got some lion's mane and stuff like that. Ashwagandha's good stuff.
I've heard about ashwagandha.
Like, I've always taken those things as a pill, but you end up it's like you take enough of those supplements, and it's like you're taking a meal, right? Like you're eating another meal with all these supplements, swallowing pills. So this is just a shot. It's a natural shot. It's got the stuff in there. And when I say shot,
it's like an all-in-one vitamin shot.
Yeah, like a liquid
thing
shot
for your mind. Nice. Yeah. All right.
And so you get a calm energy. You feel that stuff literally like within an hour or so. You start to know that something's going on. After 3 days, and 7 days is a game changer. And so I called them up and I said, I want my audience, could you give us a discount? And they said, well, funny you should ask. We got a Black Friday deal coming up where if people will go to the website, I sent that website over to you, popped that thing up there. I said, if people will go to the website at magicmind.com, they've got a deal right now where I think they're giving them like 50% off. 50% off. So, yeah, that's right. If you see at the top of that thing, the mental performance shots, that's what it looks like right there. Magic Mind mental performance shots. I said, give me a promo code because I want to talk about this stuff. And they said, well, we're going to run this thing till December 6th, this deal. But if you go over to magicmind.com and use the you throw in promo code Chad. I told them to give me a promo code on that deal. But you take one of those shots every day. And you can order 15 bottles, 30 bottles, 60 bottles. You can subscribe so they keep on sending the stuff over there to you. I mean, 21 calories to get that kind of energy is phenomenal. I mean, it's so dadgum good. But I'm in love with this stuff because I've played around with different things. And anyway, so mood enhancer, clarity, decrease, because I found myself kind of like stumbling over words recently. So anyway,
yeah, I should probably get off the Red Bull and maybe try some of this.
Yeah, no Red Bull, dude. I can't tell you how many people that I've had say, I was drinking energy drinks or something like that. And they started having heart issues, and they were young guys. So anyway,
I've heard stories, man. I know people who've gone to the hospital because of Red Bull.
Yeah, they drink too many of those things. So
it's true. They're like, "Oh, I drink the sugar-free ones." I'm like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
this
is nothing like that. I want everybody to know this. It's not an energy drink. It's nothing like that. So don't even think they're not even comparable. I love this stuff.
It's just a little mental booster, right?
Yeah, so good, and it lasts. Anyway, you know who needs it is Kamala Harris.
That's facts.
Oh, this trick. I'm telling you, dude, I want to break that down. So everybody's seen this little 29-second video. Don't pull it up yet. All
right.
Because I want to build up to this thing. I don't want to see her ugly mug any longer than we have to. I thank God we don't have to hear her voice any longer than we have to. In fact, you know what? Let me go ahead and you want to cleanse your mind. You want to cleanse your mind from Kamala's voice and the eternal cackle. I got something else for you.
It just echoes in my mind.
Yeah,
it's always there.
The eternal cackle. We've got something for you. It's going to be a little aromatherapy. I had a good friend of mine put together a candle, and I said, I want you to make me a Trump candle. I want it to have a hint of leather and tobacco. I want it to smell like effing freedom. I want it to smell like no inflation. I want it to smell like peace on earth. I want it to smell like global power and America first. And by God, she did it, Royce. She did it. And on Black Friday, I'm going to have this over at prathertees.com. Yes, that is on someone's legs. Someone took a picture. I'm not going to say whose legs those are. Those are female legs, but I'm not going to say whose. And my good friend, she's got Free to Roam over there in Conroe, Texas. 100% soy candle. I said, I want it to be frou-frou. So she said, it's 100% soy candle. I said, make me a Trump Daddy candle. Texas made, and there it is. It smells like leather, tobacco, and freedom.
Is that, okay, so he's got a cowboy hat. Is that a belt buckle, too?
Yes, it is. Yes, I love it. Look at that.
That's sick.
Trump Daddy. Look, that's a stern-looking Trump. That's the Trump I love. Look at that big old hat on that dude.
Serious face. Yeah.
Yeah. So on our website, we only had 24 of them made. 24 of them made. So if you go to prathertees.com or you go shop on watchchad.com where all the fun stuff is, on Black Friday, and we're also going to have some deals over there on Black Friday. You can get your Trump 100% soy candle. Smells like the Lord. It smells like the Lord.
Leather and tobacco? That's the Lord right there.
Well, I mean, it might smell like wine that used to be water. But we're going to knock a bunch of T-shirts down to like $10 and stuff.
Ooh.
We still got the Make America Pray Again. And so a lot of people are like, Marty, I thought you believe, really you want the government to make us pray? No, I want God to make you pray. That's what I want. Then we've got our, and then right below that, we've got I Was Country When Country Wasn't Woke and Full of Shit. Like that's the country music I love. Willie, Waylon, George, and Merle, and Conway, and Loretta, and Patsy, and Dolly. I Was Country When Country Wasn't Woke and Full of Shit. My buddy Ray Hubbard in Lubbock, Texas. That is original art. That is El Ray. If you follow him, El Ray Artist on Instagram. I said, I commissioned that. I said, I want you to put me a dude with a skull and a cowboy hat and a guitar and just throw him out there in the desert. And I love that shirt right there. So you can
got like an Arizona background going on.
Like it. Yeah. And it's a play off of the old Barbara Mandrell song. I was country when country wasn't cool. And I see you, Pickled Squirrel. Yes, that's right. A T-shirt sale. Go get that wallet, Pickled Squirrel. Spend that Indiana money, girl. Spend that Indiana money.
Squirrel.
It's Pickled Squirrel, one of our longtime friends of the show and the program. And if you're just tuning in, remember Bobblehead, but you get the free Bobblehead. We're going to do a random drawing this week between now and the end of Friday, Black Friday. You can get the Bobblehead. I'll sign the bottom of it, whether you want to or not. I'm signing it. And but you got to go leave a rating and review where podcasts are offered. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys right now to hit like, hit share, and tell your family and friends about this dadgum show. Okay. Now everybody's in here. Everybody's settled in. You've popped your popcorn. Take your shot of whiskey, whatever it is you do. Drink.
Take a shot of Magic Mind. You mean
Magic Mind? Magic Mind. It's amazing.
You're gonna need that to comprehend what we're gonna get into in the show, probably.
Like, I'm watching social media last night, and Amjad sent me the clip, right? Our buddy Amjad. He sent me the clip of Kamala, and she's back from vacation. Now, remember, she's been in Hawaii, the place the government burned down. She's been in Hawaii. I don't know if we can say that or not. Allegedly lasers
Allegedly
from space.
space lasered
Space
Hawaii.
lasers,
Yeah.
who knows? Speaking of Amjad, he just texted me right there. He must have heard his name. But she goes on vacation. And I don't know if y'all know this or not. She was staying, as all public servants should, she was staying in a $7 million home. I don't care if you do make $300,000. I don't know what the vice president makes. I'm assuming it's probably around $300,000 a year. That's the salary. Because I think the president's is like $450 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So I don't care if you do make that. I make pretty good money. I do decent. I work hard. I've been blessed. I've been fortunate. I still fry my own turkeys. You can see my blister right there. Y'all can barely, if you zoom in, you can see I'm blistered up from frying turkeys last night. We had our annual turkey fry. I still fry my own turkeys. I don't have people frying them. I do it, and burned myself a little bit last night, a little grease. But even with the money that I make, which ain't bad. I mean, I ain't starving to death till the IRS comes and gets me. I'm not going to Airbnb a $7 million house. And I don't know what she did, but I don't know how these public servants get away doing what they do. I mean, like, remember when Paul Pelosi got attacked by the guy with a hammer in his living room, and they went to the coast of Italy because that's, they're out there. They're out there on the coast of Italy just yucking it up like all public servants do. I don't understand how these politicians get to do this, but she's been on vacation. And the other thing, Royce, I don't understand is why is she on vacation when in 2 months she's going to have all the vacation she needs?
Exactly. She's about to be off forever. She's not going to get another position, actually. She will be forever on vacation. Probably.
Forever on vacation. She will never... CNBC isn't going to call Kamala Harris and say, hey, we want you to come host a show. Can you imagine that nightmare? I mean, the women of The View make more sense than Kamala Harris makes. But anyway, she comes back, and obviously, I'll just put it out there, she's drunk. She makes this 29-second video. I know you've seen it. Nobody wants to see it again, but I want you to see it again because I want to break this thing down. And you go, what's the point in breaking it down? I said, well, just trust me. This is the bullet. Okay, thank you, Gerald. She makes $284,600 a year. That's what the vice president makes. Thank you, Gerald. This is, look at that face. Like our friend Brianna Morello, she posted on there. She said, get some cream for that neck, honey. Like, wow.
Yeah, she's got a turkey of her own, actually.
I've heard that if you do a lot of suction with your mouth, like a lot of, sometimes it'll stretch the neck. Like, I have neck wrinkles here, but it's not from sucking on.
I was about to ask, where'd you get yours?
I don't know. We're not going to talk about those things, Rice.
He's just stating a fact. You're just information.
Let me just say that you would think her neck muscles would be a little tighter than this, but let's just say that this right here, this old gal, this is not AI, okay? Because wow. Oh man. All right, play the clip. I can't wait. Do it. Here she goes.
I just have to remind you.
Drunk.
Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire.
Yeah.
So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
She's like hunched over, like, let me tell you something. She's walked over to the bar table, plops down.
You know, Royce, I'll tell you, something about me is I've spent a large portion of my life around people that are drinking. I literally, when I get on stage, I anticipate everybody in the audience has been drinking. It makes for a better show. It makes me a little funnier, easier to deal with, right? And she's trashed. Now, like, I've seen people who have tried. See, they don't, like, I took back when I was taking like drama classes at the University of Georgia as an elective, and I can remember so much from those classes. They said the key to playing a drunk person, like if you're acting like you're drunk, is you have to pretend like you're trying to find your balance. So you're imbalanced, but you're trying to look balanced. And so you if you want to pretend to be drunk, just look like an off-balance person who's trying to get balanced again. And it's a subtle deal. Now, if you spend enough time with people who, let's say, they're trying to talk to a police officer, and the police officer says, have you had anything to drink tonight? And they try to get as eloquent as they can. They know they're going to slur if they talk at a normal cadence. So they slow themselves way down. And they think in their mind that they're completely sober and being articulate. And so with her, she thinks she's being eloquent, right? And this is like but she still isn't drunk enough to lose the condescension of looking down her nose at the people she's talking to. So from what I read, they actually encouraged her not to do this, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. She thought this was a good idea. Come back from vacation in Hawaii, staying at a $7 million place. Apparently, she didn't get rested enough, and she wants to come back and tell you, the American people, that nobody could take your power away. You got just as much power as you had before November 5th. She's had a fifth. That's what she's had. And let me tell you, it would take 2/5 to make that face a 10. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That is the face of ugly right there.
She's pretty bad. I don't know how you come back from vacation looking worse. I mean, she looks like she's aged 10 years.
Bro.
Have you seen this side by side?
Yeah. Do you have it? Do you have that side? Pull that thing up, because that's why I said this is not AI. And this is not AI. This lady is looking haggard, because I've seen a number of pictures on the campaign and even post-election that they posted out there that were AI generated or AI enhanced pictures of her. They weren't filtered. They weren't Photoshopped. They were AI. There. Oh, brother. Man, that, for those of you who are listening, for those... She has...
They're lucky, actually.
Wow.
That they're just listening. Dude, that's just... Look at her neck. Look at her face. Her eyes. Her hair even is just a wreck, man. What is going on? But I have another... This is the cause of the Trump effect. When you lost to Donald Trump, this is exactly what happens to you. And we have a past example of this.
Look at that. There's Hillary.
It's undeniable. This is what Trump does, man.
Yeah.
Just destroys you.
So I was watching a clip of the Hodge twins. They had Stu Peters on. Keith and Kevin Hodge had and they were talking about Kamala, like, would you hit it, and they were showing pictures of her when she was younger and stuff like that. And Stu Peters, of course, our buddy Stu, was going, no, absolutely not. And they were like, I don't know, man, maybe. They're like, damn. Yeah. And they were showing early pictures of her. And then they popped up the pictures of Hillary, and they were talking about Hillary at one point in time looked pretty good. Like, Hillary, when she was younger, had pretty eyes. I mean, nobody wants to think about anything pretty associated with Hillary Rodham Clinton. But, but look at that. Look at that. That she went from Secretary of State to Madam Moo Moo over there on the right.
I mean, she kind of resembles George Soros here a little bit, actually, on the right. A little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She's got the George Soros look a little bit.
She does. I said, would you hit it? Brian Mueller, our buddy in the Fact Pack, he said, yeah, with a Mack truck. I see the comments. That's so funny. Yeah, so, again, when you have resident evil living inside of you, it will eventually manifest physically in your body. If you live with bitterness and resentment, I get spiritual with you all day long. This is a fact. I mean, we can play with this, but this is a fact. If you live with bitterness and resentment and unforgiveness and all this, it will age you. It's worse than smoking dope and tobacco every day. I mean, it's like sucking in poisonous carcinogens into your soul. If you can't let it go and you're holding on too tight, and we all know this is why a woman shouldn't be president. Royce, I'm not speaking for you. But look at all of these women who get in politics and look what it does to them after a period of time. These women, especially on the left, who get into politics, and after a while, it just starts to ride hard on their face because they tend to be a little more emotionally ruled and run, right? Men tend to be a little more stoic and logical. Now, men are everybody knows my opinion. Men are dumb and women are crazy. And so that type of stress plays differently on those two different emotions and those two attributes, the dumb and the crazy. But like women tend to be a little more emotionally ruled. And I think it wears on their face. Look at Nancy Pelosi. Or don't.
Yeah.
Or don't.
I prefer not to.
Yeah, it just runs them hard. And I mean, that's Hillary having done work on that face. I mean, Hillary's had work done over the years. And it's still brutal. But again, these people, they are driven by this evil vitriol. Look at Rachel Maddow. Look at Rosie O'Donnell. Look at Kathy Griffin. Look at Bette Midler. Look at Barbara Streisand. Look at all. I can list them off. These people are so. Look at what was the girl? She was so dadgum good looking. Ashley Judd. Ashley Judd was a hottie once upon a time. And now, look at Alyssa Milano. Alyssa Milano, man, when I was a kid, I had a crush on Alyssa Milano. Wow. She was a smoke show.
Michelle Obama hasn't changed too much, though. That's kind of...
Men don't.
That's kind of,
see, that's the
kind
thing.
Of interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, men don't. And that's the thing. To the antithesis, men don't. Because men tend to get a little more distinguished with the fine lines and the wrinkles as they get a little bit older. They take on a little more of a handsome quality. Look at the Cary Grants. Look at the... you look at a Brad Pitt or a George Clooney, which George Clooney's starting to look a little lesbian too, in my opinion. But these guys, they look a little more distinguished with the lines and the wrinkles and the crow's feet. They can carry it out. You don't see guys running to put cement and crap and Botox and poison in their face. Some guys do, but you can tell when they do, and they just shouldn't grow old gracefully. And most men just kind of get a little better looking as they get older. It's the blessing of being a man, and it's also part of the curse. Because God said in the book of Genesis, when he cursed Eve, he said, your desire will be for the man. And what he was saying is you're going to be spending the rest of your life under the curse of trying to attain that man's position. And you're never going to attain it. It's going to frustrate you. And because of that, there's going to be a lack of fulfillment in your life. This is what God said. You don't get mad at me. Go read the book. That's what he was saying. He said, you're going to constantly be after the man's position. And that position is not the one I created for you, and it's going to cause some poison in your soul. So let the comments fly. Go to where podcasts are offered and leave me a rating and review. 5 stars, and then tell me I'm wrong. But then you're fighting with God, not me.
It's a good way to put it.
It is, and I'm never wrong, Royce. And we're both wearing Buccaneers gear, by the way.
Yeah, we're repping today.
We both got some Tampa stuff.
Although I'm actually from Tampa, so I don't know why you're wearing that. Unless you're just a huge fan.
I'm not a huge fan. I like the Buccaneers. I kind of like what's it? Dadgum, the quarterback from Oklahoma that's now at Tampa Bay. What's the quarterback's name? Dadgummit.
I have no idea. I don't watch sports.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be commenting on the thing. They just popped out of my head. Anyway, but I will be in Tampa. in a couple of weeks. I will be in Tampa. I just bought my plane ticket this morning to be in Tampa, actually coming in a day early. Going to be at Side Splitters Thursday, Friday, Saturday night of that weekend. Yeah, so watch chad.com is where all the fun stuff is. But here's the thing that disturbs me. Now, Kamala's evil. We can laugh about her being drunk, and she is drunk. She may be on something else. I don't know. She might be on a Xanax and mixing it with some vodka. She's definitely inebriated, and the fact that
Baker Mayfield.
God, I was like Baker Mayfield. Thank you. And so I was sitting there going, we dodged a bullet with Kamala because she would have been given free rein to do whatever she wanted to do. She would have been untouchable like the rest of these people are. They don't receive any criticism. There's no accountability. There's no consequences for their actions. And so we would have had a lush in the White House. I'm fully convinced the cocaine back on 4th of July a year ago was hers. Fully convinced this was her baggie of cocaine.
Really?
We've joked. Oh, yeah, we've joked about, because I've seen too many. I've got a past. And I just recognize things. I've seen it in her. I can tell when somebody's doing some stuff, and I've seen her jaw motions, and I've seen her nose touching and stuff like that. And I just recognize. I recognize when somebody's either holding or using, and so I got a past. It's a gift, and plus I'm wild. I'm wildly intuitive and even prophetic. So it was her bag of cocaine. I'll just say.
Yes, but Hunter was in the house as well. Like, how could it not be his?
He doesn't leave his behind. I don't think he leaves his behind. I think it would have been
got it strapped.
That was the argument that I said all along. That a guy who like Hunter, he's got it with him. And I'll be fair. Donald Trump Jr. I don't know if you guys saw the SpaceX launch when he kept putting his hand in his pocket and then putting his finger in his mouth like that. Oh, Donnie, not a good move. Not a good move, Donnie Jr. That's you're putting something in your teeth, and it wasn't a Zen. It wasn't a Zen. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I recognize certain things. And again, we avoided having a lush in the White House. Now, Tim Walz, on the other hand, I don't think Tim is drunk or high or anything else. I think he's just deadly dangerous. And he put this statement out yesterday. Let's play this clip. He said something when I saw it. When I saw this, I was immediately concerned at what he said, because this idea, and I want to remind everybody, like the Bidens have said that they're going to go to the inauguration, which I think they should. I think that's good. I think that's a good sign for a peaceful transfer of power. And this guy right here, though, when people like this get in power, this is dangerous right here. I want you to hear what Tim Walz had to say in this statement. Play it.
Every place we went, the caring and the sense of joy. I know it's incredibly disappointing now, and look, candidly, it's a bit scary because there's a very different vision that's being put out there. But now,
to say that it's a bit scary, that's dangerous rhetoric. That's dangerous rhetoric. When I saw that, I immediately thought, okay, Tim Walz is still going to carry this narrative that we're up against, that they're up against Nazis or literal Hitler or something like that. It's a bit scary. What is a bit scary? Is it, again, they're going to keep pushing this thing that women's rights have been taken away. No women's rights have been taken away. Rolling back of LGBTQ plus rights. None of those rights have been rolled back. Don't even argue with me about the military. You'll lose that logically. That's not a good argument to make about the transgenders in the military. Tell me you can still, ectopic pregnancy or a miscarriage, a woman's still going to get their health care. What's scary about this? I mean, do you have any thoughts on that, Royce? I mean, what the hell is he talking about? Why would you use rhetoric like that?
Yeah, I mean, I just have questions for Tim Walz. Is it scary that Hamas is wanted to end this, or that they just confirmed which we'll get into later on in the show, a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah? Is it scary that the president of Mexico has halted all the migrant caravans, or that Justin Trudeau is having calls with Donald Trump to discuss the border security? Is that scary?
Yeah,
I don't think so. Maybe to Tim Walz, because his their plan is being disrupted. But none of that is scary. I don't understand how any of these people can look at just the effect of him being elected president-elect, just those positive effects, I don't see how they can look at that and be like, oh, this is we're in some scary times right now. We don't know what the future holds. Dude, it's looking up, man. We're happy.
I mean, look, I'm even wearing a rainbow right here. So,
Bring the rainbow back, man.
I know.
That's Jesus' rainbow.
My buddy Scott Brown, Scooter Brown, War Hippies. That's a great band. You guys need to check out
War Hippies.
Scott Brown's band, War Hippies, man. They're some of the best out there. And I promise you, Scott, there ain't nothing gay about Scott. He's a Marine, did some killing. This face of Tim Walz, though. This is what it looks like when you get toxic shock right here. When men try to use the tampon and leave it in too long. This is what you get, folks, right here. That toxic shock. Tim Walz, and you're right, Royce. You're 1,000% right. Because let's give everybody just a recent history lesson. So they fully intended to continue the Obama regime with Hillary Clinton in 2016. It didn't happen. It disrupted their plans, and so they had to change their rhetoric. It had to go to a hate rhetoric. Now, they made fun of George W. Bush because George W. Bush was not a great orator. He was not a good person to give a speech. He would stumble all over his words, but at least he was affable and likable, and he was kind of that goofy clown, just kind of whatever, and you made fun of him. But they were pretty rough on old George W., and sometimes rightfully so. But they weren't serious. Like, they weren't like out there trying to kill the guy. When Trump came along, it became hate rhetoric, and they really tried to criminalize everything Trump. So because it disrupted their plan. Well, then they got Joe Biden, who somehow managed to find 81 million votes, quote unquote, and now they expected that regime to continue. Now, they were stupid. They were stupid because they knew that they knew. I mean, the forethought of this, that just the lacking in forethought in 2020 for me is amazing. They knew Joe Biden did not have 8 years in him. That's the fascinating thing to me. They knew that old man, he was already dumber than a bag of hammers. He has been his entire career. He's never been a smart person. And we know what Barack Obama said about him, never underestimate Joe's ability to F something up. We knew that the guy didn't have 8 years in him. So they picked a DEI hire. Joe himself said it will be a woman of color. That was who his vice president would be. We all knew that it had to be Kamala, Kamala Harris. And that's who they picked. We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. So that's who it had to be. And you always, as a vice president, or as a president, you always pick a vice president that people fear getting into office. Now, what Trump did in picking a J.D. Vance, even in a Mike Pence, back when he picked Mike Pence, that was an insurance policy because people didn't want Mike Pence to be president, and they definitely don't want J.D. Vance. But it's because for J.D. Vance, and at the time even Mike Pence, they were scared of Mike Pence because they were like, he was too conservative. Now they're worried about J.D. Vance because he's too damn smart, okay? And I mean, he is. And now they don't want that. The Democrats have done something completely different. Their insurance plan in picking a vice president was, let's pick somebody really stupid that nobody wants. Barack Obama picked Joe Biden, and they were like, okay, compared to Barack Obama, Biden's a moron. We can't have that guy. And then they had to find somebody dumber than Joe Biden. Do you know how hard it is to find a human being more stupid than Joseph Robinette Biden III, who has dementia, who's on the decline, and, can't quit licking the windows in the basement? They had to find Kamala Harris, the woman who had never received a single vote, a woman who was the first person to drop out of her primary. I mean, she barely won the closest election in California history to be the attorney general. And everything she ever did, all 164 bills that she was a part of as a senator from California, every one of them did not pass. Not a single one passed. She's not a good politician. And they knew he wasn't going to make it 8 years, and that's the person they picked. Because, again, they knew somebody else was running the show. They needed a puppet. That's why they didn't run Gavin Newsom. You know why? Because Gavin Newsom has an opinion. Gavin Newsom has thoughts. He is Xi Jinping Jr. He is a communist. They knew that Gavin Newsom is 10 times more dangerous than Kamala Harris and Joe Biden combined. And so they couldn't do that because that guy was going to try to come in and run the show. They needed a puppet. They needed a puppet. And so, again, Trump is the disruptor to all of that stuff. So we got Trump back. We got Trump back. And they're already reporting that there are threats of violence against Trump's nominees. That's coming out today. There's more developing on that story. They're talking about swatting them, which basically means you're calling the SWAT team on people's houses, which is very dangerous. People have gotten killed because of that. There's tons of different accusations that are going out. And here's the thing to prove my point, Royce. Let's talk about this. They knew all along she was going to lose. They knew that the polling
100%.
was not close. And now this story has come out about what the Kamala Harris campaign actually knew. The internal polls of the campaign never had her leading Donald Trump. That's David Plouffe, who was a senior advisor. He said, listen, we were hopeful. Don't know how optimistic we were, but we thought, hey, if it's tied, maybe a couple things can break our way and we could win. They knew they were going to lose. They knew that they didn't have a shot in hell. But, you know, what else could they have done? I mean, this was it. I mean, that was their Hail Mary, was to get this cackling, drunk-ass puppet somehow placed in the White House. And you still can't convince me that she got over 70 million votes. And there's just no freaking way. And so, anyway, what do you think, Royce?
I mean, I pointed it out this morning, but, you know, if you look at this tweet here and his line that says, we were hoping, you know, a couple things would break our way. You remember that chart from Wisconsin, I think it was, where it was the red line and the blue line, and then they did it again, and we were still too big to rig? That was their plan. They were hoping something would break away. They're hoping that their rigging was going to be big enough to overcome the sheer mass of the Trump movement, and it wasn't. That's the only thing that they were banking on. They knew that in an organic election, they were going to lose against Donald Trump. They knew that for the longest time. And that's why they shelled out all of their money and some, $20 million over. So that way, you know, and we talked about this yesterday, so that way Megan Thee Stallion could go twerk on stage and that she could do a show with Oprah and all these different things. Because they were panicking. And they knew that their rigging was not going to work.
Yeah. And I'll tell you another thing they hope was going to break their way. They were hoping Donald Trump was going to be DEAD. They were hoping he was going to be gone off the scene.
That or in prison.
Or in prison. They hoped the felonies were going to stick. They were hoping that Marshawn was going to hand down a sentence. You remember this talk? I mean, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, everybody was talking about, can Donald Trump be the president-elect and be the president from a prison cell? You know, you're going to put the Resolute desk in the penitentiary. There was all of that stuff, you know, 91 indictments, all of these different things. And I've noticed on X, they're still not letting go of the narrative that he is a sexual predator, he's a rapist, he's a felon. Doesn't matter what the courts say, by God. Doesn't matter what the judge has done, he's still a felon. They're never going to let go of that rhetoric. I saw somebody today, I can't think of his name, I responded back to him. He's like, can someone please explain to me how more than half of America thought that it was okay to vote for this guy with all these felonies and he's a, you know, rapist and a sexual predator and blah, 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 blah. Nobody gives a shit about explaining anything to you, dude, because nobody cares what you see or believe because you're too stupid to understand it anyway. You've believed the narrative for so long. The media lied to you, just like these polls right here. They paid money for the polls. They got the results that they wanted to release publicly, and that helped their narrative. It kept that circle of confusion going, so people thought there was a chance. They were hoping maybe we would be in World War III by now. Maybe there would be an assassination attempt that was actually successful. So, you know, again, I'm sorry. And I'm not listening to any celebrity that ever went to a Diddy party, or anybody that applauded Roman Polanski or introduced young girls to Harvey Weinstein. I don't give a rat's ass what Hollywood has to say about any of this stuff. And these Twitter rerees, like the Krasenstein brothers, who, by the way, haven't been seen on X in 4 or 5 days, they're gone. Because suddenly they weren't making any more money off of this shill thing. So here we are. You guys believed a narrative. They lied to you. The media lied to you. That's why CNN's in the tank. MSNBC is making the last swirl around the toilet like a turd, and it's all going downhill. You guys have lost. You've lost everything. The courts are coming back around. I think we're going to see a revival of the rule of law in this country. I think the courts are going to come back around. I mean, my God, the NFL went from kneeling for the national anthem to the Trump dance. Get your bobblehead. We're going to give it away. You got to leave a review on the podcast sometime between now and the end of Friday. And you too can do the Trump dance. There it is. But now they're doing that on the field. So look at this transformation that's happening. I think the media, we're seeing an end around. Social media, we're seeing an end around. I think you're going to see a revival of Facebook. I think the algorithms are going to change on Facebook. And you know why? Because I think that the last couple of years, Mark Zuckerberg's been hanging around with all those Brazilian jiu-jitsu and MMA guys, and I think a little testosterone rubbed off on him. So I'm starting to see a change in Mark Zuckerberg. Zuck sucks, don't get me wrong, but I'm starting to see a change. I think you have the opportunity. I think those of you out there, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, there's all these things out there. I think we have an opportunity in the next 4 years to make more money than we've ever thought we could possibly make. I think the economy is going to be that good. I think consumer confidence is going to be that good. I think if they didn't want that, you know, they wanted to line their pockets with money laundering through Ukraine, and they wanted to be able to fund wars and be able to get the money back to them. I think we're going to stop seeing these, BlackRock and Vanguard. And now if we could just, I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
It's still going to be, we still have to be on our toes until January 20th, because they are going to actively try and start World War III. They most likely, I wouldn't be shocked if there was another assassination attempt. Trump hasn't been out too much. He went to UFC. He's been doing some golfing, and he's been going to a couple of private events, but that's about it. They're keeping him kind of under a shield right now, and that's how it should be. But I wouldn't be shocked if this is not the end of their attempts. Evil does not give up that easy.
No,
it does not. They threw everything that they had but a nuke at Donald Trump, and they lost, and they're not going to stop there. Now they're just riled up and angry. You can, like we mentioned before, you can see the evil coming out of Kamala. It's consumed her. It's consumed Tim Walz. It's consumed Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, all these different people. And they're gonna throw what I think they have left. We were all waiting for an October surprise, and there were a few surprises, but we might get a Christmas surprise this year. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they're not done yet trying things.
You're right, Royce. And you know what's crazy is, you got Joe Biden trying to backdoor a couple of nukes into Ukraine right now. We've gotten the rumors on that deal. And listen, I was talking to somebody last night. He's a business owner here in the Houston area, and a very successful guy. And he said, I'm pretty quiet about politics. He said, but I finally got to a point where I was pissed off. And he said, I put my Trump signs out there. I started flying my Trump flag on the back of my car. He had like a Bronco or whatever, and he was down at Galveston Beach. And he said he went to a Kroger grocery store, and a cop came up to him and said, Kroger has a policy, you can't fly flags like that, you have to leave the premises. He called Kroger the next day, called the manager on duty, and said, hey, is this a policy? And Kroger's like, no, we believe in free expression. And so this cop, and he took it really high up. The cop was the one who came to him, who was offended by the flag and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there going, these crazies that are out there who are supporting, but he made the comment to me last night. He said, you got Joe who's trying to do all these things, and it's not Joe at all. It's, could the CIA possibly just give us a break for a little while until, so we get a little peace? But no, whether it's the CIA or the deep state or the whoever it is, they're the ones who are doing this kind of stuff because they want to generate the war. That's the only way they can stay in power. That's the only way they can keep their existence going. And then Joe apparently is also trying to give a little parting gift to Vladimir Zelensky, his money laundering buddy over in Ukraine. He wants to leave him $24 billion.
$24 billion.
Our buddy Eric Dahl over at on X, President Joe Biden asked for $24 billion to Ukraine. That's according to Politico. What? For what? For what? Man, they're not going to let this thing go. So you're right. It could be a December surprise.
Yep.
And he got to go. Joe, this ain't Joe doing this, bro. Joe's not asking for $24 billion.
Well, I mean, potentially, it's probably Joe's family. He's got, I guarantee he's got some debts that he's got to pay off, some favors that are being cashed into him rapidly now that he's almost out of office. Because, you do things to get you into office. You pull favors and you owe people stuff. And I think he's trying to pay that off. And for whatever reason, $24 billion to Ukraine is what it's going to take as his parting farewell gift. But I Googled it. You know how much it would cost to end homelessness in the U.S.?
How much?
$20 billion.
$20 billion.
$20 billion. I don't know how much have we given to Ukraine thus far? Because it cost $30 billion to end world hunger. World hunger.
Right.
30 billion. Like these things that they talk about, like, oh, we got to fix this, got to fix that. Meanwhile, they're just shelling out. You think we can give $24 billion to Ukraine? Sure. On top of the 100 and something billion we've already given them? Sure. Like, are you joking me right now?
Yeah, that's I was doing a little math this morning as well about different things you could do with $24 billion. And trust me, there's a lot. Like, I only need $1 billion. 900 million. I could probably get by with 900 million, right?
Yeah, you think you'd make it?
Well, I'm going to start a GoFundMe. I'm going to start a Give, Send, Go. And I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but they did start a crowdfunding deal for Kamala's campaign because people aren't getting paid. They're trying to get that $20 million back that she ended up in debt, which Tim Pool and I sort of had an argument on his show about. He's like, well, that's just the cost of doing business. You're $20 million in debt. You got debt. I got debt. We got debt. Though, we have debt. I was like, yeah, but this is different. This is a person who's going to run the country who raised over $1 billion, and still ends up $20 million in debt. I still have a little bit of a problem. This wasn't the cost of doing business. This wasn't a business. This was a campaign. There's a very big difference on that. And I had somebody in Tim's live chat who was like, I wish Chad would just let this go. Well, I don't want to let that go. I think it's very important, especially now if they're doing a crowdfunding thing to try to get their $20 million back. But see, like, this comes out of the taxpayer's pocket. $24 billion to Ukraine. $24 billion to Ukraine, that is a lot of effing money. I mean, we're already, and again, if you Google that and you look up how much money we've given to Ukraine, the number they're going to give you is going to be much more conservative than what we've actually given to Ukraine. I mean, especially when every American citizen owes well over $200,000 right now just on the national debt. I mean, we're $36 trillion in debt. If you haven't downloaded the U.S. debt clock on your phone and just look at that number and go, you need Magic Mind just to know what the hell's going on to read those numbers. Every person that's born owes, like, I don't know, 100 and some odd $1,000 as soon as they come out of their mother's womb. And guess what? It's safer for you to come out of your mother's womb in a Trump presidency.
More likely. More likely to happen. Likely. You're more likely to actually come out of your mother's womb.
You're more likely
under Trump.
But $24 billion, I would love it. Like, there's so many things, Royce, I want to know. Obviously, I want to know about Kennedy. I want to know about the aliens. I want to know about about January 6th. I want to know about the cocaine at the White House. I want to know if Paul Pelosi was having sex with David DePape in his living room and they just got caught and David DePape hit him with a hammer. I want to know what a radical nudist is because that's what they said his occupation was. I want to know who's on Epstein's list. I want to know who Diddy did and who Diddy didn't do, and I want to know who Diddy diddled and Diddy diddled any littles. I want to know all about Diddy. I want to know I want to know this stuff, bro. Like, I want to know what happened to the Me Too movement. I want to know. We didn't talk about this story yesterday. No, I do not support Caitlyn Jenner for governor of California. That's a nightmare. I blame Caitlyn Jenner. I don't care if you're a Republican, conservative. I don't care what you are. I blame Caitlyn Jenner for starting a lot of this transgender bullshit narrative garbage crap. And Sarah Gonzalez and I were at CPAC a couple of years ago, and Caitlyn comes walking through, and I was like, that's a man. Like, doesn't even try to walk like a woman, all duck-footed, walking like Party Foul Steve. And I'm like, ugh, that's a dude. It's a dude. And no, I don't want, they be hinting around, make California great again. That's what Bruce Jenner tweeted yesterday. No, California. Get Larry Elder in there. There's some good Republicans out there.
That is the most California thing, though, to elect a Republican transgender. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So dumb.
It's very California.
Don't fall for that crap. We don't support people's delusions. We don't support people's mental illnesses, okay? We don't do that. I don't care what your skin color is. Let me put it either. I don't care if you're gay, straight, black, white, male, female, transgender, identify as he, him, she, her, they, them, or she's, him. I'm not going to placate you and play with your delusions just because you need a little bit of toxic empathy in your life so we can navigate the narrative of your manufactured oppression and your supposed trauma, okay? Because we can't do it. We can't do it. So let's stop playing these games. I don't love a black conservative any more than I love. The easiest thing in the world to be these days is a black conservative. I tell Brandon Tatum that all the time. I tell Terrence Williams that all the time. I'm like, the easiest thing in the world, the Hodge twins, and they're not even black. They'll tell you they're not black. They're Irish. They got green eyes, for crying out loud. They'll tell you, they're like, we're not black. Yeah, we're not black. You're not black. You got green eyes. I mean, they'll tell you all, but trust me, they use it. They use it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the easiest thing to be in this world today is a black conservative, and everybody wants to love on them. Like, oh, you got your token. Oh, well, see, we love black people. We found a black conservative. Stop doing that stuff, man. If they're conservative, fine, they're conservative. Love them for their intelligence. Love them for their mind. Love them for what they contribute. Love them for their critical thought. Love them for their common sense. Love them for their stance and their platform and their outspokenness. Love them for that. Appreciate them. Their honor for that. You know what? Do that. But not because of the melanin, which only separates humanity by 0.0000001% in our DNA structure. Stop with this crap. And if you're putting on a dress and you still got a wiener, I'm not voting for you to be the governor of anything. You can't govern your genitals, much less California. For crying out loud. You can't govern your emotions.
Put that on a t-shirt, bro.
It's true, though, Royce. You can't govern anything. Like, you haven't been able to govern your gender or your sexuality. Yeah. How do you think you're going to govern California? Quit placating to the crazies, man. And listen, Caitlyn Jenner, great. You're a Republican, great. Keep speaking out. Use whatever influence you got. But, like, I'm not running. I'm not going to try to run to be something that I'm not. I did that. And I'm not the governor of Texas. The people spoke. I got 4% of the vote in the primary. Okay, 4%. And I'm not it. So there you go. The people have spoken. You didn't want my crazy. You didn't want my crazy anyway. I had great ideas. But anyway, oh, God, $24 billion, dude.
$24 billion.
I got to get off of this before I have an aneurysm. Give me that next. Pop the next little deal up there. Oh, boy, howdy. Here we go, guys. President Trump, he's confirmed that the United States has successfully negotiated a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah.
And it cost $0.
$0. The man's not even in the job yet, and he's done it.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. That's what leadership looks like. This is from at AKA FaceHots, AKA these people with their names.
I know.
AKA FaceHots. Try to give them credit where I can, though. But Trump did it. Trump did it. Of course, Trump did it. That's the Trump effect. Let me go on record as saying I'm not on anybody's side in this. I'm on America's side. Okay, I'm not. Listen, you guys know me long enough to know if you read Galatians 3, the children of Abraham are the children of faith. That it's about grace, not race. Okay, so there's no merit to just being a Jew that lives in Israel or anything else. The governments of men are corrupt. That includes Israel. That includes America. That includes all these others, okay? Wherever you have men in power, you have corruption. Israel is not this. So I'm not going to sit here and spiritualize Israel. I'm going to tell you that my tax dollars paid for this war on both sides. The missiles being shot at the Iron Dome were paid for by my tax dollars, and the Iron Dome itself over Tel Aviv was also paid for with my tax dollars. So I'm not under any delusions here. But Donald Trump knew that this was a volatile situation. He said, I can fix it. And guess what? He fixed it. They don't like this. However, whoever tweets on Joe Biden's X account took credit for it on behalf of Joe Biden. Here's what Joey B had to say. Today, I've got good news to report from the Middle East. I've spoken to the prime ministers of Lebanon and Israel, and I'm happy to announce that the United States proposal to end this devastating conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. Now, I commented under that. Royce, I know you did as well. I said, narrators. I said, narrator, Joe Biden, in fact, had nothing to do with ending this conflict. He just didn't. He had nothing to do with it.
There it is.
There it is. Narrator, Joe Biden, in fact, had nothing at all to do with ending said conflict. Thank you for hitting like. Follow me at Watch Chad. Make sure you're following Royce at Royce Chamberlain. But nope, that's it. So, will there ever be peace in the Middle East? I don't know. I say let's build a wall around them and the last man standing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whoever wrote this, the 20-year-old staffer misspelled Donald Trump here.
Yeah,
really is what happened.
Right there.
Because he didn't say my administration. If it was him, he would say my administration's proposal, no, has accepted the United States, saying Donald Trump represents the United States is what it's a play on words, is what happened here. But you said you wouldn't give an opinion on what side you're taking or whatever. I'll give a statement. I'm just going to echo Donald Trump with this, which is we just want the killing to stop.
Yeah.
I don't care what this and that or whatever it is. People are going to disagree. Countries are going to disagree. World leaders are going to disagree. But the killing does not have to happen. Yeah. It does not have to happen.
It doesn't have to happen. And you know who suffers from it? Now, I'm not talking about the person with the ideology that wants to put on a suicide vest, all right? Those guys can go out and detonate themselves in a field somewhere all they want to and maybe take a goat with them. But what I'm saying is, the poor guy that got up today and just went down to the market to weave baskets to sell them out in the street, can we not bomb that guy? Like, he's just really trying to feed his family. Like, he's just trying to find another falafel. Like, he's really just trying to, put something together to live as long as he can. And we're bombing him, or somebody's bombing him. And I don't care what the color of your skin is. Royce, you and I are alike in this. We have the same values. I love everybody. I really do. I also make fun of everybody. But I love everybody. I really am an empathetic soul. Like, I really do feel for people if they got gender issues or sexuality issues. I feel for your struggle, regardless of where it came from. My empathy goes only so far. I don't let it get toxic. But the human struggle of sin, it's bad. It's bad. And the fallen nature of men, it creates chaos, confusion, and death. And I wish, I really do. I believe in a gospel that eradicates that. I think that the victorious good news of Christ's death, burial, resurrection, I think fixes that. The embracing of God's kingdom, his way of doing things, fixes all of that, finding rhythm in life. But there are disruptors. There are sinful disruptors in our world. And they don't care about human life. These people in power, they'll do anything to keep it. And they'll bomb you, they'll drone strike you, whatever it takes. I mean, you tell me how anybody can justify Barack Obama drone striking 7 nations simultaneously after they gave him the Nobel Peace Prize before he was ever even president. And one of those drone strikes hit a wedding and killed civilians, Americans. So, there's no justification for this kind of nonsense. Now, Donald Trump dropping a bunker buster, a Moab on, in Afghanistan on a bunch of insurgents that are buried underground. Smoke them out. You turn the dog loose on Abu al-Baghdadi. Yeah, like he cried like a dog. Like that. I'm down with that. These are bad dogs. These are amazing dogs. Amazing. I'm down for that. Because let's eradicate these people. Hamas is evil. They are evil. Their ideology is evil. I mean, if you've never sat there and watched, go look up the son of the founder. What's his name? Joseph Mahmoud or whatever. If you go look up that interview that he did with Dr. Phil, the son of the founder of Hamas, what he has to say in that discussion with Dr. Phil is eye-opening, mind-blowing. It will change the way you think of the Palestinian, quote, state and the tribal conflicts that are there and have always been there and always will be there. So yeah, I'm with you. I don't want anybody getting bombed, especially me. I'm not anticipating 72 virgins. That's why I'm trying to find them now.
Oh my God.
My stupid brain is the worst, bro. I hate myself sometimes.
That was funny though. That was funny.
Oh gosh, this keeps me in trouble. But anyway, where are we at? Thank God. I mean, do you think that would have happened if Kamala Harris with her blood alcohol level of 2.8. You think that would have ever happened? This right here, no.
What, the ceasefire?
No,
No,
no ceasefire.
100% not. No,
No
and if you
ceasefire.
look into it, it actually doesn't start for like 60 days or whatever, like right when Trump takes office. That's when they're starting this thing. But they've agreed to it, because of Donald Trump. So I don't know, man. It's just I think we did dodge a bullet with Kamala Harris. We've dodged multiple bullets in this campaign, but I think as fast as we're seeing things turn around, I think we would have seen things fall apart with Kamala Harris. Things are rapidly becoming better, and news like this is coming out under Donald Trump being president-elect. If Kamala would have won, it would have been the exact opposite, where Joe Biden's currently sending all this stuff. If Kamala Harris would have won, these people who are saying, "Oh, well, I'm willing to talk to Trump. I'm willing to make this happen." Trump's saying, "Oh, we're going to tariff you." Oh, well, we don't want that to happen. Dude, it would have been 100,000% times worse.
Yeah.
Probably would be. I would be drafted by now, most likely. I'd be sent off to war at some point. It would have all escalated. World War III was pretty much a guarantee. But yet they'll still say that Donald Trump is the worst person ever. And how could, Harry freaking Sisson, I hate that guy. He's always tweeting about like, oh, America has failed women. What the heck are you talking about, dude? We almost went into World War III.
Yeah.
What do you mean we failed women? What do you,
Yeah.
it's so, I almost said the R word. It's so stupid. Get riled up here, man.
You can say it with me, Daddy. You can say it with me. The Google overlords don't like it, but I love that word. Yeah, I mean, you know what's rough on women? Melting in radiation and turning into a pile of ash. That's pretty rough on women. Drafting people, and listen, just don't take the opinion of anybody that looked like they could have been in the cast of Wicked. All right, just don't. I mean, don't hold space with any of those people. All right, isn't that the phrase they're using right now? It just holds space and has gravity or whatever. With these interviews with Cynthia, whatever her name is, and Ariana, whatever her name is.
Ariana Grande.
Oh, these people are wicked, dude. They are, to use the phrase,
They
no
are
pun
wicked.
intended. They're wicked, dude. You can see their souls being eaten out from inside. Gotta finish that sentence. Gotta finish that sentence. Gotta finish that sentence. All right, we got to get out of here. I'm going to go drink a little Magic Mind. Go over to magicmind.com. Check those guys out. They got a 50% off deal going now through December 6th. That's their Black Friday thing. Type in promo code Chad, though, when you go over there. I'll tell you more about it. I'm a few days in on the Magic Mind. I've been taking it daily. I'm in love with this stuff. So go check them out. And also go leave us a rating and review. I'll let Cindy pick at random one of our reviewers between now and the end of Friday. And this is the bobblehead. Look at Donnie T.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's a nice little deal. It's a little deal. And I got to give
it a little
shout
shake
out.
there. Give it a little bobble so we can see.
Little,
Look at
look at Donnie. Give him the little fist right there. He says, fight. Little Donnie. I'll sign it down here on the base. I'll sign that deal.
There you go.
And put a little signature on there. And we'll date it and put the whole thing. But we'll send the thing over to you right here. But you got to go leave a review because we're going to pick the winner from the review. And then also throw up the candle. It smells like freedom. Smells like deflation. The opposite of inflation. We're gonna there's our candle. We're gonna put that thing. Where are we at there? I can't do it. There it is. There it goes. There goes Donnie's bobblehead. It just fell on the floor. That right there smells like leather and a little bit of tobacco and a whole lot of freedom right there. Our Trump candle. It will be on PratherTees.com. Check out our Black Friday specials. We're going to knock a bunch of stuff down, and I might even throw a new T-shirt design up there between now and then, just for our audience, so you guys can get it. You know what? We'll make it like a what are we, 2024?
Yeah.
I was going to say a $24
I
shirt.
really think you should do the govern your genitals thing. I think that'd be a hot seller right there.
We'll play with that idea and see what we can come up with. But I love that picture of Trump. I love that. Maybe we should put that on a T-shirt, Daddy Trump. That's pretty bad.
I know. Okay, I know. I don't smoke, right? But I've seen what a pack of cigarettes look like. Tell me that doesn't look somewhat like a pack of cigarettes.
It's sort of Marlboro-ish. Yes, it is.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, I've seen something like this.
It's very Marlboro-ish. But I told her, I said, you know what? Let's make it for everybody. Make it out of soy, so it's 100% soy. Don't try to drink it, but leather and tobacco. And Richard reminds me, I've got $1,000 Cuban cigar downstairs in my humidor, and I've got a feeling I'm going to smoke that thing either tonight or tomorrow.
$1,000, dang.
$1,000. It's a Bahique. Cuban cigars aren't cheap, and I've got some friends that go to Cuba and come back with some nice stuff. If you can ever get a Bahique.
You know that I'm Cuban?
What's that?
Do you know that I'm Cuban?
I had no idea.
I'm Cuban. Yes, sir.
I had no idea. I thought that was just eyeliner. I didn't.
I promise. I get that a lot. I promise I'm not wearing eyeliner.
You got the
They're
JD
just
Vance.
my eyes.
You got the JD
The JD Vance eyes, yeah.
Yeah, you got that dark complected. You're going to go far in life, Royce, because you're a handsome young man. And unlike these bitter, vitriolic women that are poisoned from the inside, you're going to be distinguished as you get older. Brother, I love you. I appreciate you, Royce. Your insights are always dead on point, and you're a godsend to me. And I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for you, Royce. I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you, Chad. Happy Thanksgiving.
You as well, brother. And I want to say that I'm happy and so thankful for our audience and a Fact Pack and the people that have been with us all these years. We're still going. We got some huge things coming up. First of the year. I can't wait to unveil some things. It's so cool. God's good, man. God is good. We get to have fun and talk for a living, and there's so many things that are coming, and it's just fun. We're just having fun, guys, and we're able to do it because of our viewers, because of our listeners. Hit like, hit share, tell your family and friends. You know what? It's Christmas time. So go back. The song I released last year, I'd Be Jolly Too. Remember that hit song, their Christmas song, I'd Be Jolly Too? You can still go get it wherever songs are offered. You can get Watered Down with me and John Rich. But go get I'd Be Jolly Too. Put it on your Christmas playlist. I'd be jolly too. Go get it and check it out. All right, guys, in the meantime, I'm going to have a little special Chad's Church for you. I might release it. I think I'll release it for tomorrow. And
right.
but we're going to give you guys the rest of the week off. And have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great weekend, whole kind of stuff. And, we'll be back next week, rocking and rolling. And there it is. Royce, I appreciate you, buddy. Let's jump off of here. What did we forget? Did we forget anything?
No,
we got it.
That's it.
Hit all the bases. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
and
Thanksgiving.
We'll see you guys next week.
Let's go. All right. In the meantime, for Royce and for me, we love you. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.